You're listening to the Metal Lens. Life, the universe, and everything from a metal point of view.
We're back.
And we are.
Witcher can only be
It is Friday. Friday the 4th. So yeah, welcome back to the Metal Lens.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties.
We have some testicle difficulties.
which allowed us to consume more alcohol than normal before we typically start.
We drink our way through it. So.
Ding.
It's all right. The pain lessens the more you drink.
Yeah. So,
I'm not even upset.
how have you been?
Yeah, how you been? Comment below, and so on. I don't know. Day 232 of the era of COVID 2020.
Oh.
I just made that number up. Who
Okay.
knows?
Well, I was
probably
wondering
more
where
like
you were going
100.
with
I
that.
wasn't going anywhere with it. Although I'm kind of curious. How many days has it been since lockdown?
More importantly, it's
More
like
important.
30 days till the election,
Yeah.
which I think is going to coincide with how long COVID lasts. Just a prediction.
You know, a lot of people are predicting the same thing, and I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. We will report the truth, though.
Yes.
Mind you, we're not gonna soften the
unbiased,
blow.
Unbiased,
in any way.
unfiltered truth.
Unfiltered.
Maybe we should, and I even thought about that at
What's
some
that?
point. Is like starting like a news channel and just telling you how it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
I'm drunk again. Shit. Just telling it like it is.
And something happened in North Dakota. Fuck, is that a state?
Well,
Are you sure?
it was the last time I looked at a map.
You don't hear anything out of North Dakota, do you?
Actually, my work is kind of covering their conference.
Is there a conference in North Dakota right now?
Yeah,
That's breaking fucking news. Good thing it's in the summer.
Well, it's being
because
done.
it gets fucking cold in North
It's
Dakota.
being done virtually, and yeah, you're fucking right. It gets cold in North Dakota, dude. Imagine how cold it gets in South Dakota, and then just kind of like
Go a little north.
north of the border.
I have relatives that live in Montana, Billings actually, and
Fucking ridiculous how it must be
my
in that part of
parents
the
went to
country.
go see them. I haven't been up there yet,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not too far away from Yellowstone, driving
Okay.
distance.
Right.
But it doesn't happen every winter, I don't think. But there's some winters where it's you open up the door, and you're like, fuck, not going to work today.
Did you see that?
There's like 12 foot of fucking snow at the front door. Fuck it.
Did you ever see that video of somebody? You look at it, somebody's videotaping outside a barn, right? It's clearly the dead of winter. There's just like fucking snowflakes flying in every direction, right? And they open the door, and then there's like 2 or 3 horses just come running out. There's like that's sort of like jubilistic kind of like sense of freedom. Like oh yeah. They run. They get like maybe 10, 15 feet, and then simultaneously, nope.
Yeah, fuck this.
Start running back inside. Like, fuck freedom. I'm going to go where it's warm.
I'm going to freeze my horse balls.
It's not an instantaneous horse dick shrinker. So that's got to be a magnificent feat to shrink a whole horse dick. But, it's cold out there in North Dakota and South Dakota and Nebraska and Montana and everywhere that ain't, as far as I'm concerned, here. Yeah. I mean, it's still hot as balls, but I mean...
we're getting a little bit of relief, I think.
Come
I
winter,
cut the grass. I didn't go to work.
Mid-fall, we're going to be so fucking grateful that we live.
I didn't
So
go to
grateful.
work today, so I cut the grass at around 10:30.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was going to fucking die. I was close, but, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And, 2 weeks ago, no fucking way. I'm not cutting grass at 10:30.
Yeah.
You're insane if you do.
Yeah. At that point, you've got actual direct sunlight.
No,
And-
you do what the lions do in Africa in the middle of the day. You just sit underneath a tree and go,
Yeah. Yeah. and swat flies with your tail.
You don't even have the energy to do that. Fuck it. You just let them crawl around your eyeballs.
Dude, fucking.
You need another beer?
No, I got one. I got my own. Got my own collection right here. Thank you, though. Thank you, sir. So while you're getting that, I'll just say, like, poor Nicole. See, we got the stock for it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, I got like mixed ancestry, but I mean, kind of look at me. We're kind of adapted for the warmer climes. I mean, my dad's from Nicaragua. He's from the tropical.
I got like some Mediterranean, Syrian, fucking Moroccan fucking shit in me.
Yes, you got something.
And like when most people, like you see,
you got some influence.
Because I'll notice it at work. Like I'll be working with people, and like as soon as they go into the 140 degree boiler house, they're pouring with sweat.
Right.
And I'm not sweating at all. Mm-hmm. Then it takes a while, and I'll get a little moist, and they're just pouring. And I'm like, the fuck, dude?
No,
what did you drink last night, dude?
What did you drink?
No, but the poor Nicole is like fucking like pale skin, yow.
Oh, dude, poor girl.
Fucking Irish, fucking, or whatever the fuck.
You got color.
Yeah.
She does not.
She doesn't have that.
No, dude.
She's like transparent.
Red hair, pale skin, fair skin, freckles. I mean, she was just born to just die with skin cancer. Yeah. Let's just be honest.
A job in roofing is not. That's not in the cards.
Not in her future. If she wants she's going to make a lateral career shift.
She would probably die.
Well, I mean, no, I'll be
I'll
be perfectly honest. I mean, she's had her first round with melanoma, which wound up being like, taken care of and clean bill of health. Everything's checked out now. 4 years after the fact, but, dude, like, so her family is basically Irish and Irish.
Yeah, you could tell if you saw her, you're Irish.
Croatian too, which is not. Basically, people who just grew up in fog and mist with the occasional sun, which is basically there to tell you get the fuck inside.
Every day is
and
partly
cook another
cloudy.
pot of boiled cabbage and potatoes.
Well, I love cabbage.
Yeah, so different stock altogether. But having said that, despite our stock, do appreciate a little bit of a chill every once in a while.
Yeah,
not a North Dakota chill. But
no, I don't care for that.
A little bit of sharpness to the nipples, and that's fine. We can tolerate that. A little bit of a weenie shrinker, but
nips.
Yeah,
you got to tweak her nips.
And looking forward to.
Up.
Okay, I got it now.
I wonder what happened to that guy.
I don't know, dude. I still don't know if that dude is for real.
Steve, the lawnmower guy, he's probably dead or in prison or something.
I mean, it's if he was real, he's probably.
I wonder if that. And I'm sure I'm about to look it up.
All right.
The Whiskey Wipers episode.
Dude, yes.
I'm sure it's still got to be on YouTube. That is the fucking funniest shit known to man.
Dude, stunning feat of engineering that was, dude.
So basically what he does is he flushes out his wiper tank, the washer tank, and fills it with fucking Jack, glunk, and runs to, and takes, you take the tube off of your windshield wiper sprayer, which is normally mounted on the hood, or in that cowl right behind the hood.
Yeah.
And then he ran it through his cigarette, his ashtray, so he could pop it out. And that way, your favorite cocktail is always on stealthy standby. It's fantastic.
On the road, too. Like, on the move.
Sir, you've been drinking? No, but my truck is fucked up.
Dude, you pretty much can't avoid like capturing attention. As soon as a cop sticks his nose in your window, you're gonna smell like whiskey.
Unlike a lot of other YouTube videos and things that you see, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if that dude was really fucked up, because you could tell. Because God bless the people who edited those videos. You can obviously, it's edit after edit after edit.
Yeah.
Everything, it's so many edits in it, because he probably falls over. Can't remember what the fuck he's saying, or whatever. It's just it cuts and cuts and cuts and cuts. So, yeah,
All right.
God
so
bless Steve the Lawnmower
a
Guy.
professional approach to a real amateur way of living, I guess. Yeah,
You
I
gotta
mean,
tweak her nips. Gets her all horned up.
dude, I mean, aside from what the only thing, as I recall last episode, we were talking about some pretty nasty storms heading our way.
Okay, good, because
With
I
the
don't remember last episode at all.
I'll tell you what we talked about. We talked
Okay.
about the whole what's the word? The Japanese word for the two colliding?
Fujiwara.
Fujiwara. All right.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
No, the Fujiwara didn't happen.
The first one just kind of like went west and fizzled, and the other one unfortunately hit Lake Charles, where Nicole's
But of course,
sister
a
lived.
week leading up to it, like, here's us right here, and these storms are going to go, whoa. That didn't happen.
Gonna converge and nuke basically us as dead center. That didn't happen. Now I feel bad for the people at Lake Charles because Nicole's sister and her family live out in. They still have the house. It's okay.
Yeah, they got fucked up.
I think it's been like a week and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still staying in a hotel
In New Orleans.
in Baton Rouge.
Oh, in Baton Rouge, okay.
When they want to stay within driving distance, they can go back to the house, check it out,
Okay,
clean
because
out.
I heard
empty
a
the
lot
refrigerator.
of them actually came here.
A lot of them might have.
And from what, now, I don't know if it's
yeah.
true or not, but previously, Lake Charles was ate up with the coronas.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I think they were pretty high with the coronas numbers.
Yeah.
And now they're all over here in hotel rooms in New Orleans.
Wow. Time will
I don't-
tell. At least 2
I don't
weeks,
go to New
apparently.
Orleans hotels, so I'm fine.
And I'm not married to somebody whose sister went. Oh wait. Yeah, we'll see. If I'm not here next week, or next episode, you'll know why.
You know why.
So that didn't happen. But what did happen was a whole bunch of nothing, because apparently I don't have any news, dude. If you got anything,
Well, I do.
by all means.
It's kind of, well, that just kind of, talking about a close call or
Yeah.
near miss, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, that whole George Carlin thing. It's like, oh, we hit a near miss. I'm like, no, you didn't. You hit a near hit.
a collision.
Because if they collision,
near,
it's,
is a
oh,
near
look,
miss.
they two planes
nearly
collide
missed.
midair. Oh, look, they nearly missed.
Yes, but not quite.
But we had another fucking close call with a fucking meteorite, a meteor, a asteroid, or whatever. the fuck.
Jesus, another one?
We did. And motherfucker, they didn't see this one coming either.
No, you reported one last episode. Was this another one since?
Oh, is that the same one? Did I
I don't
do it?
know. I don't know, dude, because now I'm getting really fucking nervous.
Okay, then that was it. Because, like I said, I couldn't remember last fucking episode.
Okay.
But yeah, that was it. They had, so this is like the second one in the last 6 months that just kind of, well, that's probably about a year now.
Dude, it could have been the second one in our lifetime. That's still kind of unnerving, dude.
And,
because
well, I mean, I'm sure they had a lot before, but he just wasn't looking for them. But, I mean, they come out and said it. They come out and said it again. It's like, well, we had another one. And fuck, we didn't see this one, guys.
dude, it makes me wonder if ignorance really is bliss. You know what I mean? I mean, are we better off knowing that these things can happen, that there are many close calls, and that we should start preparing for
Well,
it?
you know
Or
what? If ignorance is bliss, then wipe the fucking smile off my face.
no,
Rage Against the Machine.
you ignorant motherfucker.
You should have picked that up.
Yeah, you.
So yeah, no. Other than that, what I have, I picked this up off the new little site I like to go through, Metal Hammer.
Uh huh.
I kind of like it. I like the way it's set up. 10 killer metal albums that soundtracked in 2002. So they're looking back at the year 2002.
Yeah.
Now I happen to have in my previously nicotine stained or bourbon stained fingers. Some part of our top 50 list
Yeah.
we refer back to, which I really do enjoy. And the only thing I can find, and I know this isn't because I don't have the dates on all of these, but the only one that jumps out for 2002 is Isis Oceanic.
Okay.
So, without further ado, let's go to the list.
Well, as you're doing that, I'm actually going to pull up the data. The data.
Data.
on that shit. Isis Oceanic. Look at that. 2002.
Data or Data?
Data.
I think Data was that guy
Star
on Star Trek.
Yeah. Data.
Data.
Datum. Data.
So, Audio Slave, self-titled. Chris Cornell.
That was
like
Chris
me some-
Cornell and I thought there was. Is that the wait? Hold on. Is that the, did they do the Hunger Strike song?
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
Hunger.
yeah.
Okay, so that was
The dude from Rage Against the Machine, the guitar player, I think.
Tom Morello.
Yeah, Tom Morello.
Your boy from Pearl Jam, right?
Pearl Jam, yeah.
Jesus. Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. And Chris Cornell. Okay.
Yeah.
That was 2002?
That album was, yeah. Did they only put out one album?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, the funny thing about supergroups and supergroup albums is
Yeah.
I know very fucking little about them, you know? They seem to just kind of pop out. They
I do know
They
this-
put out a radio hit, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't follow them.
I do know this about one supergroup.
Yeah.
It was... Fuck. Sammy Hagar. Not Steve Vai. What's the other one?
Satriani?
Joe Satriani. And I think Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili
Oh.
Peppers. And it was called Chicken Foot. Look it up. Chicken Foot. And it was fucking terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard here first. Chicken feather?
Chicken Foot.
Chicken foot. My
Chicken
bad.
Foot.
Chicken foot.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, let's get past that. Oh, Chicken Foot Supergroup.
Yeah.
Yes. It is vocalist Sammy Hagar,
Ding.
bassist Michael Anthony
Oh, Michael Anthony from
from Van Halen, guitar Satriani,
Ding.
and drummer Chad Smith.
Ding.
Oddly enough, it doesn't say anything on the Wikipedia article about them sucking, but I'm just going to go ahead and take your word for that.
Chicken Foot, yeah.
Fuck it, let's call it Chicken Foot.
It was terrible.
Their second album was released. Wait,
I don't like Sammy Hagar anyway.
hold up. Chicken Foot's second. It doesn't make any mention of their. Hold on. Am I not? Years active, 2008 to 2012. In the preamble of the article, makes no mention of the first album. It just simply says that the second album
Sucked.
There's Chicken Foot's second album, Chicken Foot 3.
It looks like a chicken foot.
I mean, that's but
All right.
was released on
It's
on my birthday in 2011. It was kind of funny. So Chicken Foot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know. Whatever. This is a waste of fucking
It's hardly
time.
worth thinking about.
Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, go on, please.
Down 2. A bustle in your hedgerow.
Down.
Yeah.
They had an album called The Bustle in the Hedgerow.
A bustle in the hedgerow.
I did not know that.
Down 2.
Okay.
I'm down with some down. You know.
Many locals are.
In Flames, Reroute to Remain.
Never listened to them.
They're Swedish.
Are they really? Are.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Isis Oceanic.
All right.
Will Kiss My Ass.
Yeah.
Great, fucking fantastic album.
Yeah.
I came by a few tracks in my car the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking fantastic. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. Kill Switch Engage.
Okay.
What? I've never got into. I'm not even familiar with Kill Switch. I never.
Dude, when I started
Aren't
compiling,
they kind of like new metal-y kind of?
I'm not gonna say nu metal because that conjures up images of like
Disturbed and Stained and
yeah, I don't know if those bands would qualify as nu metal. I'm almost like a rap metal blend kind of thing. I'm trying to think of an example of new like Korn maybe.
It's funny because you should mention that because Korn album Untouchables in 2002 is on the list. Korn.
What is Kevin Durst from or whatever his name is?
Oh, Limp
Bizkit is maybe.
Wait, hang on, let me get the pronunciation right. Bizkit.
Oh, Limp Bizkit, yes.
Yeah, Bizkit.
Bizkit.
It would be Bizkit, which would be Bizkit, not Biscuit.
No. Because that would be just too proper for an extreme band like Limp Bizkit. So, yeah, whatever.
Boy, that break in the beginning, that technical difficulty in the beginning, sure creeping up on me quick. Macedon Remission. Now, that's interesting. That's interesting because
that's a decent album.
That
recall.
is my favorite. Actually, my favorite Macedon album. That's the Macedon album that I like.
Yeah.
The vocals, they've always struggled with vocals. They went to this guy or that guy.
Yeah.
And the vocals were always kind of just meh.
Mm-hmm.
But it all kind of came together, I think, on this album, and I just really like that album.
That's a good album.
Opeth Deliverance.
Yes.
Opeth.
Mm-hmm.
Queens of Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf, which is kind of like their kind of big album. It kind of brought them up to the front.
Okay.
MTV, whatever, for that song, Songs for the Deaf.
Was that post Caius?
Oh,
I'm curious.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Got these pills to swallow.
No one knows or something like that.
No one knows.
No, yeah.
The whole
It had that nice choppy sound and that nice rhythm go. Yeah.
Shadows Fall, The Art of Balance.
Again, that's kind of, I mean, it's not new metal, but I don't know, man. There's kind of this new wave of metal.
I guess 2002 was a strange time. That's all I got, and that's all I really care about.
All right, fair enough.
It.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Wow.
Bizkit.
Soggy Bizkit.
Yes.
Ugh. Oh, that's just so repulsive and repugnant. It just makes me want to vomit.
Yeah. Bizkit.
Limp Biz. Oh God, Jesus Christ! All right, it's enough of new metal. I think we're about done with that shit.
Enough of everything.
Yeah, we quit.
Let's get. We're gonna get down to brass tacks here.
Okay, we don't quit. Actually, we got an we kind of brought this up last episode, and I think we should go ahead and explore this.
We have a topic. Yeah.
Vocals, man.
Vocals. Vocals as they concern metal.
I have a funny feeling, and let me say this right off the bat, Troy. I have a funny feeling this is going to wind up being a two-episode conversation.
It could be.
I think it could be. Because there's a lot to be said, dude.
There's a lot to be said.
All right. So look, we have both dabbled in vocals.
Yes.
Right?
Ourselves.
Primarily we're instrumentalists. It was fine, you know. I'm not a great melodic singer. Okay, I'm not a melodic singer at all.
All right.
Certainly not trained, you know. All we could do is like kind of replicate some of our heroes and do the best we can with our voice.
Trained in the art of vocal diarrhea.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. So if you want something spastic and terrible, call me up, please. 504-555-5555. But
555-545-4454.
What is that? Doug DeBossier?
Oh,
Dudley DeBossier.
No, we got.
Dude, thank God they're fucking not based in New York because it would be
a running gag at work. Two guys that do a lot of side work. It's like, man, you got a job coming up, man? I'm fucking need some money. He's like, yeah, I got a job. It's on 454 Fofo Homie Boulevard. I'll be there. Anyway. 454 Fofo.
You know what? At least that's a nice fucking energy efficient way of pronouncing the word for. Faux. Because if you did it in the East Coast, like the New York kind of way, it would be way extended. It would be for.
Well,
Dude, all right. So when I was living in Oregon, a quick story. There was this woman that I had to call for the copier that we had. It was Rico, R-I-C, whatever. And I had to call this woman, or she called me, whatever, like once a month, so I can give her the number count on this thing. And we got to know one another, and I can't remember her name, but I'm like, it's good to hear your voice again, and I would give her the number count, and she would say, "This is Margie." That was her name. This is Margie from Rico. I wanted to give you a call. You can reach me at 454-484-4474. Thank you very much. And she had this like fucking Upper West Side, like kind of like Jewish New York kind of everything. She was a doll. I got to know her. She was awesome. Dude,
you a doll, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. I was talking to you. I appreciate the phone call. You can always reach me at 484-444-4444. And if Dudley DeBogier had their fucking, I'm really not trying to promote those fucking 444-504-44. Never mind.
Well,
anyway, you get my point.
Well, yeah, we definitely noticed that in the East Coast when we did our little road trip with Rat in a Bucket. Because you guys are on tour.
Tour?
What? Like, no, we're on tour.
Tour?
So we say a tour.
I'm on tour.
Tour?
No, you guys must be on tour.
Tour. No. No.
We on tour. Although we could have just been complete assholes and said we're on tow.
We're on tow.
But then they went, oh really? You're on tour?
Tour.
I don't know. Whatever. Accents.
So anyway, let's get into it.
Vocals.
This is a big bite to take.
It's an important topic. It's an important topic to cover, I think, because all right, so I remember let's just start with the story. I remember in my late teens, right? Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm pretty much looking
Which was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. It's ages ago. The salad days. When I was definitely looking for as much extreme, as much fucked up, as just much come on bowels of the fucking music industry and even the unofficial, the sub music industry. Give me what you got. I want to explore something that's deep and dark and heavy and extreme and intense and just kind of match my raging hormones and all that shit.
At that time, Glenn Benton was just magic.
Dude, that dude was he understood. He knew what he was doing. And so I was listening to different bands and looking for sharper logos, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. The ones that, if thrown at you, would impale you and kill you.
Dude, the fucking ninja would have used your logo as a killing weapon, then you got it made in the at least the southeast metal scene. More on that later, but I was experimenting. I was checking out bands. I was seeing that art, logo, general feel, song titles, album title. Okay, I can get into this, I think. This is kind of vibing with me. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. Go ahead, pay $10 at Tower Records for a cassette.
A cassette.
And let's see what it sounds like, And so I did this with Overkill.
Mm-hmm.
I did this with, well, at the time I already knew Anthrax. I did this with Nuclear Assault. Nuclear Assault I'd heard much earlier, actually. But I'm trying to think of like more specific examples. Okay, let's get into tape trading. So I listened to different bands. Heathen.
Yeah.
Heathen was something that Sean had. Fuck, that band from Seattle. Oh shit, what
Pearl Jam?
Not Pearl Jam, dude. They're the extreme fucking vibes from Pearl Jam. No,
Every other band you look up is from Seattle. Fuck.
well, no, there's this one band that it kind of gets under. God, dog it! If I could fucking, I'm gonna look it up right now because this is pissing me off right now. Album As Above, So Below. That was the name of the album. I can't think of the fucking band. This is driving me crazy. Fourth Century. Fourth Century is this fucking thrashy band from Seattle. So anyway, we're talking Overkill. We're talking Fourth Century. We're talking maybe we could let's go ahead and lump Nuclear Assault into that. Annihilator is another one.
Oh yeah.
Annihilator is a great example, actually. All right, so you got these metal bands, right? They're thrashy, sure. The music is killer, and then the singer comes in and like, mind you, me personally, I kind of skipped over a lot of the thrash acts. I kind of considered thrash to be its own thing, and had a very narrow view of what that was. That was Nuclear Assault. That was Anthrax. That was Exodus. That was maybe Sacred Reich. A few bands that I was exposed to, and I kind of got into it. I didn't really know there was that much else going on there. I was looking for like fucking extreme, deep, fucking guttural shit, and I found that, but then I also found these bands. All right, so I started listening to them. I started wondering if I was actually enjoying what I was listening to, because they were clean, melodic vocals, although with an edge. They were kind of going there. So I was looking for death kind of stuff, right? Death metal, black metal, grindcore, that kind of stuff. And I got exposed to some of this thrashy stuff, right? And so in my mind, okay, and I don't know if anybody else shares in this experience, there was kind of like a schism, okay? There was, yeah, you heard me, schism. There was a separation. It got split, all right? So I'm looking at metal in terms of like, all right, so now we're going to do metal in a couple of different ways,
It can also be described as a crevasse.
A crevasse, if you will. And I believe I will, and certainly Troy will. So this was going on, and then at that point I had to kind of, in my naive way, categorize what I was listening to. Like, this is either the extreme shit, or this is like the more mainstream shit, just because it had clean vocals. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now I don't look at things that way anymore. And of course, at this point, in 2020, you've got bands that bounce all over the place. With the same band, same vocalist doing all kinds of shit. We've outgrown that at this point.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm kind of proposing the idea of like kind of covering vocals in metal. There's a tons of different ways that we can kind of examine this, but I can at least say let's examine it in terms of like what's clean and melodic versus what's guttural and amelodic, and whatever exists in between, because now you're bringing in guys like Tom Araya from Slayer, who does both, and sometimes at the exact same time, and you got like guys like Chuck from Testament, who does both amazingly well, and sometimes does both at the exact same time, You've got guys like, you've got past guys like James Hetfield, who managed to blend grit with melody and do it well. And then you got guys like bands like Megadeth, who there's not a lot of snarl to it at all. You know, it's mostly melodic, sometimes off key, but I mean, fits the music. Like, can you imagine Dave Mustaine growling to any of his? It doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. He
doesn't have that throat. He can't do that. He doesn't have that throat.
No, but even if you got the performance ability and you sing beautifully, okay, over like any song off of Suffocation's Effigy of the Forgotten, it just does not make sense. Contextually, it doesn't make sense at all. It's off-putting, and so there's a lot to be unpacked with just what I've said alone. So I'll shut up and let you fucking take this.
So we didn't really plan this. We just say, hey, we're going to talk about vocals. So
so this is just a stepping stone.
The way I wanted to kind of go into this was, okay, so you got, in metal, you got, especially now, you have a lot of instrumental bands. So go ahead and just spark off some instrumental bands that you can think of. Metal instrument, Pelican.
Jacob, maybe it's kind of metallic, but it's more atmosphere with metalheads. I don't know, but
so my point to that is vocals are extremely important. In all areas of music, not just metal. So, in fact, be known, vocals are going to make and break you. They are. It's like baseball. You either got pitching or you're going to lose. That's it. Pitching's going to make or break you. So are the vocals. So the disearning thing and the thing that really frustrates me with a lot of metal bands nowadays is you can tell that they kind of they're kind of following this role where they all kind of sound the same. Like I can't even think of any good examples of these fucking bands, but I don't know. Like a lot of the bands that do the duel, that do the textbook technique. I don't have the technique. I've done a lot of growling. I've done a lot of screaming, and when I'm screaming, I'm just yelling at the kids, and my voice sounds pretty okay.
Yeah.
When I do that, it hurts, and I don't have a lot of air when I do it because I don't have any technique. Growling, I had good technique, and I always did when I was younger, and I still do, and I could guttural growl, Cannibal Corpse growl.
Yeah.
I feel like I can do that with the best of them. I do have a problem with air because I don't really have the true technique down.
Yeah.
But unlike these fucking young cats with the fucking hairdos and the fucking big gauged out fucking earlobes and the tattoos, yeah, they got the technique down.
Oh, but, Troy, that is so 6 months ago.
And they also do the singing. And when they do the singing, they sound like everybody else that is doing that. And it irritates the fucking hell out of me. I can't stand it. So, vocals in metal, I mean, how many instrumental bands can you think of? You can't think of a whole lot of them. Instrumental bands don't really work. They don't really work. I was in one. Wiggenhorn. I was in an instrumental band.
Yeah.
And fuck it, dude. Russian Circles. We saw them.
Yep.
I like them. I like what they're doing. But fuck, dude, if you're going to be an instrumental metal band, you have got to be so incredibly interesting that vocals will just get in the way. And I understand some of them, like Sun. Okay, that's another great one. It's got its purpose in it. But I always felt to be a real band, you got to have vocals and they got to be good.
Okay.
That's just the way I've always felt about it.
Okay.
So, early off, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, all that stuff, we were into the growl.
Sure.
That's what we wanted to do.
And even before that, I mean, there was place for melody. I mean, we all, I mean, come on. I mean, we grew up at some point or another, listening to Sabbath.
Yeah.
We
sure.
listened to fucking The Who. We listened to Zeppelin. We listened to
The Rolling Stones.
The Stones. I mean, we listen to AC/DC. I mean, as much grit as you apply to it, they still included melody in what they were doing.
So let's go there. For
Even if there was no grit, though.
Okay, so AC/DC.
No grit. AC/DC.
Even if you don't recognize the music, as soon as, and that's kind of strange because you had Bon Scott, and then you got the dude you got now.
Yeah.
And there might have even been another dude or whatever.
Who knows?
But they sound the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you, as soon as you hear that, you know who it is. You know who it is. Rolling Stones. As soon as you hear Mick Jagger, horrible vocalist, fucking horrible. Neil Young is another one.
Yeah.
Old man, look at my life. Terrible vocalist.
Yeah.
But he was a fucking great, probably one of the best songwriters ever. That makes a difference. Now, in his delivery, and that was the thing about Mick Jagger, it was the fucking delivery. Vocally, if you just looked at him playing vocally, fucking terrible. Terrible. Neil Young, too. Horrible. But, vocals make and break you. So,
yes.
now, when you're talking about extreme stuff, in recent memory, you got the gut things up, that stuff. And with the upbeats. What do you call that?
With the upbeats.
Yeah, like it's an extreme thing that they do now. It's pretty popular overseas. I don't know what the fucking genre is.
I don't know either. Oh, the gore grind kind of stuff?
Gore grind.
Oh, the genre. Yeah. Gore grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got shit like so Dark Throne. Okay? Dark Throne, particularly Panzerfaust,
Yeah.
was extremely vocal forward.
Yeah.
And his vocals were,
Oh God, dude, they're almost unsettling.
So out front,
even on our taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just made for a wonderfully beautiful thing, I think.
Yeah, I just kind of like convulsed and revulsed to the sound of that album.
So I'm gonna get right into. I mean, this is such a broad topic. I don't even know where to go. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just channel it into one direction.
And do me a favor and write down a couple words, if you would. Write down obituary, because I'm looking at that list that you wrote down. Write down Gorefest, if you would, please. At least a couple things to just kind of like, serve as reminders. And so we're going to go back to all that.
One of my all-time favorite vocal performances in metal was Individual Thought Patterns.
Yeah. The whole album.
Yeah. So if you look at previous albums from Death and later ones, it didn't just quite have the machismo that Individual Thought Patterns had with his vocals. And once you really get into that's what makes the other Death albums not enjoyable to me. Not nearly as much as Individual Thought Patterns, because the vocals were so fucking good. Not about the songs, I know, with Symbolic, everybody. Look, the vocals fucking make it. It's up front, it's what you hear, and the vocals on that album it makes that album a fucking masterpiece to me. Because how expressive, and I mean, he's been expressive, but when you look at other albums, he's really high and thin. With individual thought patterns, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what makes Tombing the Mutilated and Butchered at Birth different than the Bleeding. But it's fucking different.
Yeah.
Still pretty good, but it's just different. Not that big of a fan of the Bleeding. I like Chris Bond's vocals on Butchered at Birth and Tombing the Mutilated.
Yeah.
And they wasn't bad on Shredded Humans either. Even Back to Life. I'm sorry, but when you look at that performance on Individual Thought Patterns, he was so expressive and he had depth in his he just and he grabbed onto all the R's and he was so expressive with everything that he was doing. And it just sounded magical to me.
Which is, now that I'm thinking about it, actually really interesting because if you go back, and I've done this, dude, I've listened back to a lot of classic rock, even pop, recordings, performances, whether it's live or recorded or whatever, and you listen to the way that people kind of enunciate certain vowels, sounds, and stuff. People tend to avoid a real rhotic R sound. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of an example in a rock.
My best example for that is, vocals in general, regular just singing vocals.
Yeah.
It's of course your vocals are all in the vowels.
Yeah.
That's how you push the notes. You push the notes in the vowels, right? Not in the consonants. So like the Beatles, baby, you can drive my car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not pronouncing the R.
No, they're not.
The R is implied. So it's not baby, you can drive my car.
Right.
That would just sound weird.
Yeah.
So, and if you really listen to it, they're just leaving off the R. Baby, you can drive my car.
Yeah.
They're not saying the R. It's just the A. It's the vowel.
Yeah.
You concentrate on the vowels.
Yeah.
But and that's kind of interesting because on that album, well, I know he did it, throughout his career, but but Chuck on especially on interview, he grabbed onto those R's, just
he pushed
it.
Definitely
he pushed the R's,
absolutely,
and it was just a magical thing. And it's those type of things that make great albums and make great recordings and make great performances.
Dude, amazing observation, dude.
Yeah.
Amazing observation. Because failure, and he pushes it, and I totally get it, dude. I totally get it. And failure. And right. I'm thinking back to like Injustice for All when James Hetfield would do his things, twisting into schizophrenia, falling deep into Jim. He definitely had that sound. I know the examples I just gave you was not R's, but failure. He did that thing. He expanded the vocal sound, or the verbal.
The vowels.
The vowel sound. Thank you.
Yeah,
the vowel sound into an open thing.
And that's pretty standard.
If you're gonna sing something melodically, like I'm trying to think of a really good example, and there's a million of them I can grab from, but I'm just not thinking of them. But if you say I'm thinking of the Police for some weird weird reason.
That is a good example. The Police. He pushed vowels extremely. Because giant steps are what you take, walking on the moon. And and it's almost like you come up on the vowels.
That I want to say he was kind of trying to replicate the Caribbean sound
Sure.
in doing that, because they were totally trying to get that whole ska and reggae
Message
thing going.
in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's pushing the vowels.
It's pushing in an upward direction in terms of pitch. It kind of it starts at the bottom and like lifts it up slightly, microtonally.
Well, you know,
like, when he did that shit, and that dude, it's like almost like a natural thing.
I've had vocal lessons before.
Yeah.
I went to them for quite a while, and I'm just. It's just a difficult thing, man. If you're not given that gift from birth to really sing, it's very difficult to learn.
Yeah.
To sing if you just can't do it naturally. And I know, like, and that's the whole American Idol thing. Well, yeah, you know, when I sing Beyonce's song in the car, I'm dead on it. Well, of course, she's giving you the pitch, and you know it, and it's there. But here's a piece of music, and sing to it. Sing this line over it, and you can't do it. So the best way it was described to me is when you're trying to hit a note, you limit yourself and you think of it as a ceiling. And that's why you're always flat. And when people can't sing or they sing out of tune, they're typically flat. They're not sharp. Mm-hmm. They're most commonly flat. But when you think about going up and, you know, like just like the pull, like, giant steps are what you take. You can't think. You got to think of you have no ceiling. You could just go as high as you can go, and that'll get you close to being on key and on pitch.
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard to learn to sing if you can't do it. Okay, so one of the guys that I wrote down here was 6 Inches of Blood.
Okay.
Check out all their albums, but my favorite is Fire Up the Blades. And I always love that title. But I mean, that guy is fucking. I mean, he is up there. Mm-hmm. He's almost operatic. And you know, it's all in delivery and how you do it, and it just, you know, I've been. When I was younger, I was strictly the growl thing because that's what I could do and I could do it well. And now I'm more into the doom thing, and I'm doing more and you can, you know, check out the capsizer stuff where Jason was doing the singing, and I was doing the growls, all the guttural shit behind it. That was me. And then I'm more into the doom thing, and now I'm actually singing my version of it anyway, my attempt.
Yeah.
And it's been an interesting journey. And you know, there's certain things that I know I can do, and there's certain things that I can't. And you know, so like all the frequency stuff has the screams and the vocals, and the screams are just me yelling. I'm just pushing, no technique. I'm just screaming at the fucking kids. That's all I'm doing. And it sounds good, but I run out of air because I have no technique.
Right. And then when you start utilizing technique, you start running into the encumbrance of the limitations of what you're pushing out tonally.
Yeah. Because there's one thing, and there's a few things in songs that I write that I know I want, and like I want to be able to do that, wow, that screamo things for certain things that,
right.
But I tried it multiple times, and I can't do it.
Your voice doesn't do it.
My throat just does not do that. I wish I could, and there's quite a few instances in capsizer stuff, and especially in frequency stuff and stuff now that I want to do that high scream, and it's just not in the cards for me.
Yeah.
But the most common thing is you got to sound like how you sound. I think in all music really, but especially in vocals, because like the main point about this is that's going to make a break. The vocals are good, you're going to be okay. The vocals are subpar or just shitty, forget about it. Just fucking go somewhere else and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you gotta sound like the guys from Whores. And also, he reminds me a lot of the guys from Modest Mouse. It's just he's got a vocal delivery. It's all his. Okay, he's not trying to sound like anybody. He gets afraid. You can tell he just, gets up to the microphone and swallows it.
Yeah.
And just belts it out. And what's coming out of his mouth is what's coming out of his mouth. And that's his delivery, and it works great for what he's doing. It cracks. It does different things, but it's just he just. And the guy from Modest Mouse does that too, and I really like that about that. It's unique, and it's got to be unique. Like fucking Neil Young, he has a horrible singing voice. He really does, but it's unique to him. Nobody else sounds like that. And plus, what helps him out is that he's a great songwriter. But like Obituary, okay. As soon, I mean. The guitar tone you could kind of tell, but if we're kind of not that familiar with it. As soon as that guy opened his mouth, you knew who it was.
Yeah.
And you got to have that unique thing.
Yeah.
You can't, and that's what aggravates me about a lot of this new stuff coming out. They're trying to sound like, it almost seems like they're trying to sound like everybody else, and they get like this. It's almost like pop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going down the line of pop music. You gotta sound like yourself. Like fucking, who else sounds like Dave Mustaine? Nobody. Who else sounds like fucking Glenn Benton? Nobody. And that's what made it good. Is you gotta sound like yourself. And it's got to be unique. If you deciding that you're gonna do vocals, it's got to be you, and you can't try and do something you can't do.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to high pitch get that screamo. Ow.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm
So
gonna
you're
go
not
in another
you're not gonna
direction
do
because
it.
I can't do it.
Yep. So I feel like we've kind of laid down a bit of a sort of like a theoretical foundation.
Yeah.
In this conversation just now.
And speaking of foundations, there was a main point that I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
And really, I guess this should have been the first point. But, when you talk about death metal vocals, like traditional death metal vocals, your Cannibal Corpse, fucking Deicide, Morbid Angel, the fucking the growls, okay? That was always a thing, when that was first being introduced into pop culture or, mainstream culture. It's like, well, I can't understand what they're saying.
Right.
And for us, we always knew that's not really that important.
Yeah.
It's the texture.
It's
the delivery.
It's another instrument, and it's another layer.
It's straight up another instrument.
Totally. Yeah.
So it was all about how it sounded and the rhythms. And I remember, and this is an old memory. In our first band, Rotten Anatomy, when we were teenagers, I would bounce Sean.
Okay.
I would grab him by the head and bounce him. This is a 4/4 beat. You can go right on the beat, or you can drop in and out.
That's how your boy learned rhythm.
And stay
Yeah.
on time.
Yes.
And so, God, this is such a broad topic. My mind is going in a million directions.
I hear you,
You know
dude.
what I mean?
I told you this is at least going to be.
This might be a 4-part,
It could be.
a chicken foot.
Oh, chicken
This might be a 3.
3.
A chicken foot.
Oh, son of a bitch. No, this is definitely a complicated topic because, I mean, not only is it a topic unto itself, aesthetically speaking, instrumentally speaking, tonically speaking, the human voice is capable of so much.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
and we could just stick with jazz, dude. We could stick with folk. We could stick with fucking prog rock. I mean, it don't matter. I mean, we can sit with any genre and just do a whole lot of analysis on the consistency
and I mean,
and
it's certainly not
contribution of vocals itself.
gender specific at all,
Dude,
and,
not at this point.
and
Dude.
quite honestly, recently, I like my female vocalist. I really do. There's a band that I talk about.
Whole other dimension too.
Yeah, there's a
Until
band that
later
I
on
talk
top
about
of it.
quite frequently. The Oath.
All right, yeah.
Fabulous vocals.
Yes.
It's female vocalist and the guitar player.
Yeah.
Great, just unbelievable guitar tone.
Yeah.
Leanna Olson, whatever. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Guitar tone.
Yeah.
And the vocalist, it just works so well, and it sounds so sultry and satanic.
Yeah.
And it's got that vibe to it. And you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, fucking right, dude.
Oh,
You
dude.
just want to go into like a fucking blood orgy when you listen to it. It's just, it's
So at the end of the day, dude, I mean, if you're really taking a meta analysis into things, you're talking about emotion, you're talking about texture, you're talking about like all kinds of qualities that the whole idea of describing and quantifying starts to break down, because now you're talking about things that are unquantifiable and difficult to, because I mean, look, I hear you. Neil Young kind of has a shitty voice. Bob
really
Dylan
does.
kind of has a shitty voice,
He
but
does.
when he gets down to it,
it all worked
makes
together because
it
they're such
work, dude.
masterful songwriters.
It's almost like he was born with a certain voice, either one of them, a certain voice, and so he said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and wrap my songwriting and my composition around that.
Yes, tenfold.
And guess what? That also happens to be an amazing fucking formula for fucking rock and roll music. And guess what? That's your contribution, dude.
And listen, we can tell you this because we've both done it, and we've done it
Yes,
live.
yes.
We've recorded vocals and we've done vocals live.
Yes.
Both of us have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a totally different creature when you're in front of a
It's
microphone.
unpredictable, and it's
And when you can hear your voice or hear yourself,
Yeah.
but then you hear your voice in the speakers or in headphones, it's a totally different animal. And like people like the guy from the Whores and Modest Mouse and Mick Jagger, they didn't give a fuck. You can hear that in their vocal delivery, that they don't give a fuck.
yeah.
This is what I got, and it's coming out, and it's going right in your fucking ear hole. And that did something to their vocal performance. And I think that's how it works. Mick Jagger is not a great vocalist. He's not. He's a great performer, though. He's one of the best performers ever, really. And that's what made his shit work. Bob Dylan, Neil Young were really great songwriters, and that's what made their shit work.
Yeah.
And that's what you gotta figure out, is what makes your shit work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, when Cannibal Corpse first came out, as far as death metal vocals, that was the fucking standard. Chris Barnes set the bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
At least he set a new bar.
Yeah.
He just said like, all right, top this.
Yeah.
You know,
and that was it. As far as just true death metal, that was it.
Yeah.
And so, how many people came after him that sounded like Chris Barnes? A ton. A lot. You know? And then you got Glenn Benton around the same time, but he wasn't quite that. He was something different.
Yeah, dude. Yes. I can. You know, we should go ahead and wrap up. But I mean, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, let's take the fucking example of Queen.
Okay.
Which I keep in my mind. I'm kind of going back to. All right. So with Queen, they did ridiculous things vocally. Redonkulous things vocally. Like majestic, orchestral, bombastic. You know, Queen Elizabeth insulting levels of shit. You know, vocally. You know,
Yeah.
and it really kind of came down to, you know, it was a you know, it was an executive decision on the part of the band, right? It was probably just a sole decision on the part of well, yeah, now I'm thinking about it. It's kind of difficult to, you know, separate. Like, you know, what decision is based on the band and which decision is based on the vocalist, you know. But I mean, if I were to, if I was going to cast my vote, okay, on you know who decided what the ultimate track is going to sound like,
Yeah.
you know, I would say. Fuck, man, I can't even decide on that right now. You know what I mean? You look at the Stones. Did the Stones care about like what Mick Jagger sounded like? You know,
Probably not.
probably not.
At
You know,
least his vocal performances give you that illusion, which is magic in itself, right?
But and it's weird, and it's also weird because it's magic retroactively. I have no idea.
And when I say magic, I mean that's the sauce, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the sauce, and that's what makes it's like how. That those are the things that make it good. Not that it sounds great, but and that was the whole punk thing too. You know, that kind of came out of that. It's, you know, I don't give a fuck, and here it is. But you know when you're in that band and you hear it and you know you can feel that it's right. And that's that you can't. And that's where it comes from, where, and we've had these conversations before. It's like, especially in metal and in punk and in the hardcore type of music, you don't play to what you think people want to hear. Well, let's do this because I think people are going to like it.
Yeah.
That's not what we do.
Yeah.
We've never done that.
Yeah.
It's what sounds good to us, and we're going to roll with it.
Right.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
So, at some point, like the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger comes in like, yeah, I like that. I think that's good. Other people might not like it, but who gives a fuck? We like it, and we're going to roll with it.
Yeah.
And history is made.
Yeah. So I guess when it comes down to like almost like the halls of creation,
Yeah.
you know, you're setting a trend, you're setting a precedent, you're setting a sound.
Can you hit a little reverb on that when you say the halls of creation?
Let me go ahead and make a note of that.
Make a note
shit.
of that.
Hold up. Where are we at? 69 minutes. Halls of creation at 69 minutes. Add a fuckload of reverb. And I'm going to... Please hold me to this. Hopefully, I will actually add what you might consider to be a fuckload of reverb. Okay. Halls of Creation. Jesus. I have no idea what I was saying just prior to that. But okay, I will heed that request. And I think it's going to be most triumphant.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay, all right, fine. All right, yeah. So Halls of Creation. Yeah, I don't even know what I was going with that. That's fine. That's cool. So the voice of the Stones will come across, and it will be what it is, right? The voice of Queen will come across, like, you know, despite what Roger Taylor and Brian May, you know, might have to say, or Roger Deacon, you know, the voice of Queen is just always going to be that voice.
Well, yeah, I mean, as long as the band agrees, I mean, unless, you know, they're playing something and the bass player looks at you, you're playing guitar, and goes like, so that's the tone you're going to go with there, buddy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to go.
And I kind of have a hard... I mean, I wasn't there. You know, none of us were there.
Oh, right.
We don't know. We weren't there. But, I mean, it's kind of hard to... I'm trying to separate my own experience, right, with musicianship and working with different people from, you know, other people's experiences, you know, who are working with... This is raising a question. Does making a vocalist have any impact on your validation as a musical critic? I'll put it to you this way. Okay, if I was putting down if I was laying down some tracks, all right, and I'm doing a thing, you know, and then but my buddy here, Frank Zappa, right, or Miles Davis, says like, hey, I think you should play a B flat right there instead. I'm going to really seriously take their fucking word for it. And I'm like, all right, Miles, all right, fucking Frank, I'll go ahead and go with the... Because these are legendary people.
Yeah.
I mean, retroactively, I'm saying, like, right now, it's like, obviously, Miles Davis knew what the fuck he was doing. Frank Zappa knew what the fuck he was doing. You know what I'm saying? But, like, in the moment, like, if... well, they don't have, like, really obvious... you know, vocal counterparts. But like, if Mick Jagger were to come up to you and say like, "Hey, bloke, you know, you should play a flat on that."
Well, yeah, and
there's this tendency to not take that quite as seriously, and at least in my mind, simply because they're vocalists, you know, and.
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I mean, it all depends.
I don't want to press that too far. But
I'm sure there's people like Bruce Dickinson that knows exactly what he wants to sound like and exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, no fucking doubt.
But you know, like in my own experience, being in our guerrilla recording studios where I've recorded some things, Jason's even brought this up to me when we did Capsizer, and you can check that out because he does all the clean vocals in Capsizer. Right. He's right over there doing the vocals into the microphone, and I'm right here, and we'll get halfway through a line. I'm like, you can do it better than that.
Right.
It's like, all right, and it sounds a certain way in your head, but you know, and I'll do it myself since I'm doing a lot more clean vocals now with the Doom stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll listen back to them like, nah, it just doesn't jive. Let me try it like this. Alright, fuck it. I'm just gonna fucking let it go and just see what happens. I'm like, oh, fuck, that doesn't too bad. Okay, I'm onto something here. Alright. And when Jason was recording, laying down the tracks for for Capsizer, I mean, I knew what it was supposed to sound like, and I'm listening back to it, and he's just hanging over there, and I'm like, nah, do that again, dude. Oh, that's it, dude. That's the fucking shit right there.
Okay.
That's a golden fucking record, baby. You got that.
Yeah.
You know, and so you can hear it. I mean, you know if it jives or not. And getting on that without getting too fucking long.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Led Zeppelin. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, the Hammer of the Gods. I mean, at that time, Robert Plant was the vocal king.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
The shit that he was doing was just fucking groundbreaking shit. And I've always, that song, Going to California.
Which album was that off of?
Fuck.
How's it go? California.
Going to California with aching in my heart.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, like, halfway through the song, it's all clean, it's all straight up.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the song, they start adding reverb.
Yes, totally.
And then they start adding a fuckload of reverb.
Yeah.
And then they start adding delay. And I just, dude, the way that song progresses vocally.
All right.
And, I mean, Jimmy Page is just fucking twanging on, like, probably 12 fucking tracks. Just down, you know what I mean? Whatever he's fucking doing. And that's just kind of reverberating and just all meshing into one thing.
Yeah.
And then he starts going crazy. And doing all his Robert Plant things. Okay? And then I just wish I could be in that fucking studio.
Yeah.
Behind that board. Like, dude, like, we just could have had a fuckload of reverb, like, right here. Wham! Fucking right, dude. Dude, that's fucking killer.
Right.
That's the shit, dude. Throw the fucking delay, yeah. Hit it, dude. You do it. Oh, fucking right, bro. That's the shit. I mean, you know, that kind of creative process is a magic. It's an almost magic in its own that happens, you know. And listen to the vocal performance on that song.
Okay.
And the way it progresses until it gets to the very end of that song, it just takes you on a whole fucking journey, and it's just fucking incredible.
Okay.
You know,
and
and that's not the only legendary fucking vocal performance Robert Plant has had. He's had many.
Yeah.
But that's the one that sticks out in my mind. I just wanted to be sitting behind a booth and just seeing how that process fucking went. You know?
Dude. Okay. All right. I'm about to vocals part 2. I'm about to say. All right. So we've encompassed master for vocals, guys who can't be, in my opinion, anachronistic as they may be, untouchable people like Bruce Dickinson, like Rob Halford, like fucking Robert Plant, like Freddie Mercury, like fucking
Ozzy,
like Ozzy Osbourne. You know, these icons of like these performances. You know, and then you've got other people who are on the same caliber but who are completely atonal, and this is what interests me. The people who are fucking atonal. I mean, because even Tom Araya, James Hetfield, those guys are tonal. They have grit, but they hit notes. Okay, and then you've got your you've got your Chris Barnes, and you've got your Glenn Bentons, and you've got your David Vincents, and you've got your John Tardys, and then you've got your who the fuck else have we included in this list? All the fucking Crunchmeisters, the fucking guttural, the guy from Dark Throne, not Nocturnal Culto, but Fenris. All these guys who contributed like so much passion and energy and discernible emotional content from something that has absolutely no, as far as our observant minds can discern, tonic quality whatsoever. It might as well just be a ball of noise. But that ball of noise made fucking sense in the context of what they're doing. That fucking fascinates me. And now in 2020, the fact that we can kind of bounce back and forth from one to another within the same act, song, performance, whatever, that fucking interests me even further. So we're obviously going to do a vocals session part 2, and like you said, potentially even part 3 or 4. And after that, my voice is fucking I'm dead, dude. I'm dead, bro. So you can go ahead and finish us out, because I'm
what we're going to get into next time is we're going to get into lyrics, which is a big thing on me, because I'm a big lyric writer, and that's extremely important. Almost to me is as equal as the actual tone of the vocals itself is
another layer of content.
It's very important. And I'll have some examples of that
next time. But until then, please stay away from hurricanes and bullshit. And Jesus Christ, hey, September, we're making it through.
Yeah, and goodbye, folks. We're gonna play around with guitars now. Goodbye.
See ya.